Hi guys, and welcome to the...
Just before you get started, can you just hang on 2 minutes?
What?
I just need to nip off just 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, go on then. Hurry up, but be quick, please. I'm trying to record this video.
Excellent. You hang tight. I'll be right back.
Right.
Yep. Right. What are we doing here?
Where have you been?
Were we doing something?
It's been months.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I got distracted.
You forgot about me.
I did not forget about... How could I forget about you?
You forgot about me.
Oh, forget about all that now. Come on, let's crack on.
Pickle jar, miniatures, excellent.
So the new Vampire Blood Bowl team is one that I have been asking for and praying for and hoping for a long time. My first ever Blood Bowl team was the old metal vampire team. So this one, it's got a bit of a special place in my heart and in my hobby history. I was really impressed with the new kits. They all went together really nicely and I really like the new posing. And I'm glad that these look like proper vampires and not like the stuff from Age of Sigmar. Sorry, not a fan. Because I was so excited about this project, I figured it'd be the perfect jumping off point to try and get me back into painting and building and making videos. I decided to prime in blue, or a sort of blue-grey colour. I was inspired by something I saw on one of Miniac's videos a few weeks ago where he used a blue undercoat and then red over the top, and that gave some really nice shadows, some like purplish shadows in the recessed areas, and I wanted to try and get something similar with this. I've been painting individual models for a while because I've been focusing on Star Wars Shatterpoint, so I figured let's just knock this entire team out, let's come back with a bit of a bang and let's kickstart my hobby once again. I started off by thinning down some red in the airbrush and then just throwing that on, focusing on the capes, the armour. I was mostly going for the box art sort of style with this, trying to emulate the same colours, the same placement of those colours, trying to be as accurate as I could be with the airbrush. I'm using a variety of the reds from the Two Thin Coats paint range. I've listed them all down in the description, so if you want to check them out, have a look down below. But I was actually really happy with how the reds came out. I put the base coat down, I gave them a highlight, I gave them a further highlight, and then to finish off, I gave them all a blast with the red glaze from Wave 2 of the Two Thin Coats paint range, just to really pump up that vibrancy on those red areas. Unfortunately, this is the last point during this part of the painting process that I was actually happy with how these were looking. I just want to give a quick shout out to Warbay, which is a small online store. They contacted me a while back asking if they could send a set of brushes out, and I was a little bit skeptical when I looked and saw how much they cost for a set of 10 brushes. But I used them all through the filming process and painting process for this video, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. For £7 for 10 brushes with a nice variety of sizes and styles, I can't really not recommend them. So there's a link down below for them. It's not sponsored, they've not paid for anything. But if you're looking for a nice variety bundle of paintbrushes for a good price, yeah, I can't really knock them. So go and check them out. Anyway, going back to the painting, I persevered and carried on adding on different areas, trying to block out colours and cover up the overspray and the base coat that I didn't really need for any of the other parts of the model. And it was a bit of a struggle. I kept trying to come to this, I was trying to do all the models at once, and I just kept putting it off, and I was finding excuses to not come and paint, which is really unusual for someone who likes miniature painting.
If I'm completely honest with myself, by the time I got to this point, I was already not enjoying painting this team. And it's nothing to do with the models. The models are absolutely gorgeous, and it's a team that I've been looking forward to painting for a long time. The paints and stuff were all fine. It was just the combination of them. I don't know if it's the technique I was using or if it's the color distribution across the models, I'm not sure, but I was not enjoying it, and that was making me not want to paint these, and it was making the entire process a chore rather than something that I was actually enjoying doing. As someone that doesn't really get to game that often, the painting process is the hobby for me. And if I'm not enjoying the painting process, that means I'm not enjoying doing the hobby. which is a problem. So I decided to do something that I don't do very often. I quit and started again.
Now, repriming miniatures is not something that I tend to do very often. I tend to already have a colour scheme or a rough idea of a colour scheme worked out, and I tend to sort of make it work once I've started. But because I had already primed and painted over this once, I airbrush primed it just to make sure that I got a nice thin priming over the top and I didn't lose any of these lovely details, and then I got to work. And this time round, I just did my own thing. I painted the way that I like to paint, and I painted something that wasn't the box art. I wasn't trying to follow someone else's sort of painting ideas that I'd seen online. I wasn't trying to copy something else that I'd seen, a colour scheme that I'd seen. I was just doing my own thing. And the difference in doing this was absolutely ridiculous, and to the point where I was actually surprised at how much I then enjoyed painting exactly the same model. I think what it comes down to is that we all have our own ways of doing things. And yes, it's nice to try new things. It's nice to experiment and have a go at different techniques and different colour schemes and things like that. But don't do it at the expense of enjoying what you're doing. I like to paint from the sort of inside out. I like to paint the skin and sort of underclothes and things like that, and then work out the most external parts of the model. And because of the way around I was doing things before, it meant I was painting the opposite way around. Also, having all of the colour on the model from the start, so the blue undercoat and then the overspray from the red airbrushing, as much as I liked the red parts of the model, having all of that extra colour, it threw me off because I couldn't see what it was going to look like. And maybe if I'd persevered and carried on, it would have looked all right in the end. But I like to paint in blocks and in stages and work on a part of a model, get that painted up, or at least majority painted up, and then move on to something else and see it come together stage by stage. Having all of that overspill already on the model, I don't know what it is, it just messes with my head, and I couldn't see past it. It really, really threw me off. This time round, I opted for metallic armour on him with just red detailing on his neckerchief and on his cape. I went for a similar sort of thing that I do with my Necrons, adding the bits of bronze in on the metallics so that the silver's around the edge and it's sort of like warm, brassy bronze in the middle. I thought that would warm up the armour rather than it being plain silver. It looked a bit too cold. And then to finish off the model, my tried and tested basing method using Geek Gaming Scenics products, bit of glue, sprinkle on some patchy planes, and then a couple of tufts just to finish it off. Lovely stuff.
In the end, I was happy with the result that I got on this one model, and yes, I know it's only one model instead of a full team, but now that I've got that down, I know what I'm doing for my colour scheme. I can get through the rest of them fairly quickly. In total, I think it only took me about 4 hours to paint this model, which when you're testing stuff out is about right, I think. Once you've got your colour scheme nailed down, you can go in, you can refine it, you can speed the process up because you can do different things at different times. So the rest of this team should be fairly easy to knock out. Most importantly, it's actually got me interested in painting again. It's been a busy couple of months, being back at work, taking on loads more responsibility, has meant that I have had a lot less time available to just sit down and paint and film stuff for you guys, which is why it's been a while in between videos, and I am sorry for that. I am trying to get back to sort of regular-ish posting, but my job is my main priority, and I hope you guys understand that. All that being said, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in to this first video back after a little bit of a break. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave us a like and a comment down below. All the paints I've used are listed down below if you want to follow this recipe and this style yourselves. And most importantly, guys, until next time, enjoy your hobby.